Sophie Raworth has been announced as the interim presenter of BBC One TMS flagship Sunday morning programme, known to viewers as the Andrew Marr Show. The BBC said Ms Raworth, 53, would present the programme, temporarily titled Sunday Morning, from January 9th. The news follows Mr Marr TMS' recent announcement that he is leaving the BBC after more than 2 decades. Mr Marr is leaving the broadcaster to present a show on LBC and become the new Statesman's chief political commentator. When announcing his departure, Mr Marr said, "I think British politics and public life are going to go through an even more turbulent decade, and as ITMV said, I am keen to get my own voice back." Ms Raworth has worked for the BBC since 1992, presenting the news at 6. She also headed a documentary in 2015, which focused on the reigns of Queen Elizabeth II and Queen Victoria titled The Longest Reign. But Amy Burns reviewed the programme for The Independent, and hit out at the BBC, and Ms Raworth for a lack of criticism of the two queens. Ms Burns wrote, "Elizabeth, Sophie excitedly told us, had the common touch from day one. Why? Because she was raised by normal Scottish nannies. Of course, who wasn't? And Victoria, who following her husband's death in 1861 barely set foot out in public, was always working tirelessly behind the scenes, we were assured. If ever there was a family with a Hollywood history, it's this one. But the BBC did its damned finest to cover it up. Not one mention was given to the multiple assassination attempts that Victoria survived. And while it was nice to see Sophie dutifully following and impeccably turned out Elizabeth around on her state duties, from a polite distance, of course, I wanted to hear more about her renegade uncle, Edward VIII, who dramatically abdicated so he could marry the American divorce copyright Wallis Simpson." Ms Burns added that Ms Raworth was sycophantic to the royals during the documentary, and the stories were presented in such a smug, one-sided manner, glossing over great swathes of history in the process. It was close to unbearable viewing. In 2015, Ms Raworth spoke to Royal Central, discussing the monarchy. Asked what her favourite royal story to cover was during her career, she said Prince William and Kate's wedding in 2011. Ms Raworth said, "ITMV covered many now in my years at the BBC, from the Queen Mother TMS funeral to the Queen TMS Golden and Diamond Jubilees, as well as the Children TMS party at the Palace and the Queen TMS 80th birthday celebrations. It TMS hard to single out one, but I think the wedding of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge is one of the most memorable. I was in a studio opposite the entrance to Westminster Abbey, with a bird TMS eye view of the events. The crowds were incredible. Around 20 million people were tuned in that day, as well as much more around the world. Huw Edwards and I were allowed into the Abbey the day before to watch the preparations. I'll never forget the scent in the Abbey from all the flowers and the trees that had been brought in there." Ms Raworth was also asked to compare Queen Elizabeth II and Queen Victoria's reigns, focusing on the challenges they faced. She said, "Both Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth have reigned through quite different periods of remarkable change. For Victoria, it was the age of empire and the Industrial Revolution; for Elizabeth, an age of mass communication, technology with far greater freedom for people and greater tolerances in society. Queen Elizabeth is also a monarch who has been able to travel extensively, in sharp contrast to Victoria, who was the figurehead of an empire, and Empress of India, which she didn't visit." A poll of 85,90 Express readers, held throughout November, 97% of voters said Kate and William should not stay with Harry and Meghan in an upcoming US trip. Voters thought family controversies of recent years had not yet healed enough for the reunion. Eleonora said the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge should not stay with people they can't trust and relax around. A source told Heat World that Meghan and Harry will be inviting William and Kate, along with their 3 children, to stay at their $11.5 million home in Santa Barbara, California. The insider said, "They haven't had a single royal visitor since moving to America, which they know is mainly because of COVID, but now that travel restrictions between the US and UK have been lifted, they want that to change. They added, they TM certain that there would be no better way for them to put aside their differences than by spending quality time together in the California sunshine, away from the meddling and negativity they would have to encounter in England. And Meghan feels that they would be playing by her rules because they would be in her home and her home country. But dozens of readers thought the atmosphere between the two couples was too toxic and that they should keep their distance. The British public have had little indication from Kate and William on the state of their relationship with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But royal author Robert Lacey said their relationship remains poor and that there is no immediate possibility of a reconciliation. In October, William hosted a party to thank those who helped in erecting a statue of Princess Diana, which was unveiled at Kensington Palace in the summer, but Harry did not attend. Mr. Lacey told Page 6, "I've spoken to two people from that party, and it was quite clear from things he said that his anger towards Harry remains." The Sussexes have claimed to have a good relationship with the Queen and Princess Beatrice. Whether the royal brothers will be able to move forward from their feud, sparked by Harry TM's claims that William is trapped, remains unclear. Voter, Eddie SMTH, wrote, "I bet Wills and Kate would rather stay in a motel." Professor David Young said staying with Meghan and Harry would be letting down Her Majesty the Queen and the country. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments section below. Get unrivaled royal coverage on Britain's most fascinating family with the Daily Express Royal Briefing, sent straight to your inbox. Sign up for free here. Prince William gave a speech in front of 200 frontline workers, where he opened up about his time in the emergency services as an air ambulance pilot. The speech was given as part of the Blue Light Together initiative at an event in London. He announced the package of mental health support in front of politicians and leaders from emergency services across the UK to discuss the issue for the first time. Royally US hosts Christina Garibaldi and Christine Ross discussed the speech on the latest podcast. Ms. Garibaldi said, "Now this is not the first time that William has spoken out about mental health. This has been a big passion of not only his, but also Kate's and Harry's over the years. He sat down with a couple of people and really opened up about the struggles that he went through working as an air ambulance pilot." Ms. Ross added, "I think it's so special that he has had this unique experience, that he volunteered to be an air ambulance pilot, because now he really is able to relate to these people and to their struggles. It was really moving listening to him tell the stories of the experiences he had, the calls that he was on. He spoke a lot about teamwork as well, and working with his fellow crew. I think that really humanized him in a way to the people that he was speaking to." This was aired at a symposium for first responders, and it spearheaded a campaign to provide more support for first responders. "I think his experiences really might make someone think what they're experiencing is normal and common, and they can get help." Ms. Garibaldi added, "It's interesting, he said he witnessed so much tragedy and had to go home and had to shut it off. He didn't want to burden his family with everything that he had went through. He said you need to talk about it rather than keep everything inside." William reflected on his time as a pilot, saying, "I remember the pressure of attending calls in the most stressful conditions, sometimes with tragic conclusions. I remember the sense of solidarity with my team, pulling together to do the best we could and sharing the weight of responsibility. My friends asked the same with Meghan." Thomas Markle breaks silence on racist. Royal Prince Harry and Prince William are sick of Charles lobbying for Camilla's Queen title. Prince William also called for emergency responders to be given mandatory decompression breaks as part of their mental health support network. Health Secretary Sajid Javid echoed William's support. He said at the launch event, "Our emergency services, they represent the very best of us, running towards danger when most of us run away.